Hello, in this lecture we will find the value of 2 times AP, or the size of 2 times AP. You can see in the picture triangle ABC. Side AB of the triangle equals to 90 units, side AC equals to 70 units, and side CB of the triangle equals to 50 units. We have in the circle, that the center of this circle is actually point P, and point P is also situated inside AB of the triangle, and side AC of the triangle is tangent to the circle at point that we will call that point O. Again, side AC of the triangle is tangent to the circle at point O, and of the touching point of side AC with the triangle is point O, and side CB of the triangle is tangent to this circle at point, we will call that point E. Again, side CB of the triangle is tangent to the circle at point E, or the touching point between side CB of the triangle and the circle is point E. Okay. In the next step, we will connect points O and P together by a straight line. Actually, OP is the radius of the circle, because it starts from the center of the circle and ends at point O on the circle. For that reason, OP is defined as the radius of the circle. I will mark it as R, abbreviation for radius. In the same way, we will connect points P and E together by a straight line. And for the same reason that OP is the radius of the circle, also EP is the radius of this circle, because it starts from the center of the circle, that is to say from point P, and ends at point E, that is a point on the circle. For that reason, PE is the radius of the circle. So we have drawn 2 radiuses of this circle, and we actually created before that, we have a rule that in any circle, a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. So radius OP and the tangent AC are perpendicular to each other. So angle POC equals to 90 degrees, and also angle POA equals to 90 degrees, because PO, that is the radius of this circle, is perpendicular to the tangent, to its tangent. For that reason, POA equals to 90 degrees, and also POC equals to 90 degrees. And actually, according to the rule that I mentioned, also PE, that is the radius of this circle, is perpendicular to its tangent, because CB is the tangent to the circle and also to the radius. For that reason, according to our rule, PE is perpendicular to CB. That is to say, PEB equals to 90 degrees, and also PEC also equals to 90 degrees. Okay, so I will write down the rule. I will call it rule number 1. So rule number 1 states that in any circle, a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. Are perpendicular to each other. Okay, I will read it again. In any circle, a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. So actually, if we have radius, let's call it R, and a tangent to that radius, actually, as you know, that a tangent to a radius is also a tangent to the circle, of course. Okay, if we have radius and the tangent to that radius, let's call it T, then the radius is perpendicular to the tangent. That is to say, this angle equals to 90 degrees, and also this angle equals to 90 degrees. Okay, so actually I repeat again, that in our circle the radius and the tangent are perpendicular to each other according to rule number 1, because we have radius and tangent to OP is the radius of this circle, and AC is a tangent to that radius. For this reason, according to rule number 1, the radius perpendicular to the tangent, that is to say angle POA equals to 90 degrees, and also angle POC equals to 90 degrees. And also radius PE and the tangent CB are perpendicular to each other. That is to say angle PEC equals to 90 degrees, and also angle PEB equals to 90 degrees. Okay, so we actually created here two right triangles, because triangle AOP has one angle, that is POA, that equals to 90 degrees. For that reason, triangle AOP is a right triangle, and also triangle PEB has angle PEB that is 90 degrees. For that reason, triangle PEB is also a right triangle. So in the next step, we will draw perpendicular to from point C to side AB of the triangle. Okay, so and the touching point between the perpendicular and the side AB of the triangle will be called capital M. So CM is perpendicular to side AB of the triangle, that is to say angle CMB equals to 90 degrees, and also angle CMA equals to 90 degrees. Okay, so actually we created in total 4 right triangles, because by drawing the perpendicular to side AB of the triangle, we created 2 more right triangles, because CMB is a right triangle because of the fact that angle CMB is 90 degrees, and also angle CMA equals to 90 degrees. For that reason, triangle CMA is also a right triangle. Okay, and we will define angle CAB as alpha. We will also define angle CBA as beta. And we also will define AP as X. So actually PB will be equal to AB minus AP. That is to say AB is 90 units minus AP. AP is X. So in total PB is 90 minus 6, because it is 90, that is AB, 90 units, minus X. AP is X. So it is AB minus AP, that is to say 90 minus 6. And then we will focus on triangles CAB, the right triangle AOP, and also the right triangle CMA. first of all, in the right triangle AOP, sinus alpha equals to the side, the ratio between the side that is in front of angle alpha, that is to say OP, over the hypotenuse of the right triangle AOP, and the hypotenuse of the right triangle AOP is AP. So in triangle, the right triangle AOP, sinus alpha equals to OP over AP. Okay, and the reason that AP is the hypotenuse of the right triangle AOP, because the other two sides of the triangle AOP are the perpendiculars of the right triangles. So the third triangle the third side must be the hypotenuse of this right triangle, because in any right triangle you have two sides that are perpendicular to each other, and the first side is the hypotenuse. So because of the fact that AO is perpendicular to OP, AO and AP are the perpendiculars of the right triangle AOP, and AP is the hypotenuse of the right triangle AOP. Okay, so in triangle AOP, sinus alpha equals to OP over AP, and in triangle, the right triangle ACM, sinus alpha will be equal to the angle, to the side that is in front of angle alpha, that is to say CM. As you can see from the drawing, side CM is in front of angle alpha, so it is CM over the hypotenuse of the right triangle ACM. And the hypotenuse of the right triangle ACM is actually AC. Okay? Again, the hypotenuse is AC because actually sides CM and AM are perpendicular to each other, so the third triangle, the third side must be the hypotenuse of the triangle, the right triangle ACM. Okay, so in total we got that sinus alpha equals to OP over AP, that equals to CM over AC. So in the next step we will copy this equality, and we will call this equality equation 1. Okay? So I copied this equality here and I called it equation 1. But as you can see from the picture, AP is equal to X according to our definition. And OP is actually the radius of the circle, so OP equals to R. and AC, side AC of the triangle ABC is given to us. It actually equals to 70 units. So we can write that AC equals to 70 units. So we know that AP equals to X, OP equals to R, and AC equals to 70 units. So we can put the data in equation 1. Okay. So actually I substituted OP by R because OP equals to R, and I actually substituted AP by X because AP equals to X, and I also substituted AC by 70 because AC equals to 70. Okay. In the next step, we will divide both sides of the equation by CM. As you can see in the drawing, CM is the perpendicular to side AB of the triangle, so it must be a positive number. It can never be zero, so it is allowable to divide the equation by CM. Okay. So we divided both sides of the equation by CM. R over X divided by CM equals to R over CM times X, and CM over 70 divided by CM equals to 1 over 70 because CM divided by CM equals to 1. So in total we have 1 over 70. In the next step, we will multiply both sides of the equation by X. As you can see from the drawing, X is actually equals to AP according to our definition. So X must be a positive number, it can never be 0, so it is allowable to multiply the equation by X. Okay. So here we multiplied both sides of the equation by X. So in this side of the equation, X divided by X equals to 1. So we left only with R over CM because X is cancelled. And 1 over 70 times X equals to X over 70. Okay, so in total we have R over CM equals to X over 70. So this will be our first equation. This will be our first equation, and now actually we will focus on angle beta and sinus beta, and we will also focus on the right triangle EPB, and also we will focus on the right triangle CMB. Okay, so we'll focus on triangles EPB, this right triangle, and on the right triangle CMB. Okay. So sinus beta in the right triangle EPB equals to the ratio between the side that is in front of angle beta. The side that is in front of angle beta in the right triangle EPB is actually EP, divided by the hypotenuse of the right triangle EPB, divided by PB. I've already explained to you that the reason that PB is the hypotenuse of the triangle, because actually PE and PB are the perpendiculars of this right triangle, so PB must be the hypotenuse of the right triangle EPB. And then we will focus on the right triangle CMB. So in the right triangle CMB, sinus beta will be equal to the ratio between the angle that is to the ratio between the side that is in front of angle beta, and in the right triangle CMB, CM is in front of angle beta, so it is CM divided by the hypotenuse of the right triangle CMB, and the hypotenuse of the right triangle CMB is actually CB. Again, it is the hypotenuse is CB, the right triangle CMB, because the other two sides, that is to say CM and MB, are perpendicular to each other, so they must be the perpendiculars of this right triangle, so the third side must be the hypotenuse of this right triangle CMB. So in total, we got that sinus beta equals to EP over PB. This is EP over PB, that equals to CM over CB. CM over CB. So we will copy this equality and we will call it equation number 2. So actually I copied this equality here and called it equation number 2. EP over PB equals to CM over CB. But as you can see from the drawing, EP is actually the radius of the circle, so we can write that EP equals to the radius of the circle, and actually PB equals to 90 minus 6 because it is AB that is 90 units minus AP that is X. So in total PB equals to 90 minus 6. And CB is given to us in the question. CB equals to 50 units. So in total we have the data that EP equals to R, EP equals to R, PB equals to 90 minus 6, and CB equals to 50 units. So we can put this data in on equation number 2. So actually I substituted EP by R because EP equals to R, and I actually substituted PB by 90 minus 6 because PB equals to 90 minus 6, and CM is left as it is, and I substituted CB by 50 units because CB equals to 50 units. In the next step, we will divide both sides of the equation by CM. So we divided both sides of the equation by CM. So R over 90 minus 6 divided by CM equals to R over CM times 90 minus 6. And in this side of the equation, CM divided by CM equals to 1. So in total we have 1 over 50. In the next step we will multiply both sides of the equation by 90 minus 6. It is allowable to multiply both sides of the equation by 90 minus 6 because actually PB equals to 90 minus 6, and 90 is greater than x, so 90 minus 6 must be a positive number. It can never be 0. So it is allowable to multiply the equation by 90 minus 6. You can see from the picture that AB equals to 90 units and AP equals to X. So AB, that is 90 units, is greater than X, that is AP. So actually 90 units is greater than X. Okay? So we multiplied both sides of the equation by 90 minus 6. Here we have 90 minus 6 divided by 90 minus 6. It is 1. So 90 minus 6 is cancelled, and we left only with R over Cm, and here 1 over 50 times 90 minus 6 equals to 90 minus 6 over 50. Okay, so in total we got that R over Cm equals to 90 minus 6 over 50, but from the first equation we know that R over Cm equals to x over 70. So we can write it down. We will write it down. So this is the first equation, that R over Cm equals to x over 70, and we create the third equation that states that R over Cm equals to R over Cm. Okay, the third equation is R over Cm equals to R over Cm. Now, in the next step, I will substitute R over Cm in this side of the equation by the value of R over Cm from the first equation, that is to say x over 70, and then I will substitute the value of R over Cm in this side of the equation by the value of R over Cm from the second equation, that is to say 90 minus 6 over 50. Okay, so I will substitute R over Cm by this expression, and I will substitute R over Cm by this expression. Okay, I repeat again, I substituted R over Cm on this side of the equation by the value of R over Cm from the first equation, that is to say x over 70, and then I substituted R over Cm on this side of the equation by the value of R over Cm from the first equation, that is to say 90 minus 6 over 50. Okay, in the next step we will multiply both sides of the equation by 50. So I multiply both sides of the equation by 50, and x over 70 times 50 equals to 50x over 70, and 90 minus 6 divided by 50 times 50 equals to 90 minus 6, because 50 over 50 is 1, so 50 is cancelled from this side of the equation, and we left only with 90 minus 6. Then I will multiply both sides of the equation by 70. So I multiplied both sides of the equation by 70, and 50x times 70 divided by 70 equals to 50x, because 70 divided by 70 equals to 1, 70 is cancelled. We left only with 50x, and 70 times 90 minus 6 equals to 70 times 90 minus 6. In the next step, we will divide both sides of the equation by 10. So I divide both sides of the equation by 10. So 50 divided by 10 equals, so 50x divided by 10 equals to 5x, and 70 divided by 10 equals to 7. So in total we have 7 times 90 minus 6. Okay, now I will open the brackets in this side of the equation. So I opened the brackets in this side of the equation. 7 times 90 equals to 630, and 7 times minus 6 equals to minus 7x. Here we will add 7x to both sides of the equation. We added 7x to both sides of the equation. 5x plus 7x equals to 12x, and 630 minus 7x plus 7x equals to 630. Here we will divide by 6 the equation. So we divided the equation by 6. 12x divided by 6 equals to 2x, and 630 divided by 6 equals to 105. So we got in the third equation that 2x equals to 105 units, and but we also know that AP equals to x according to our definition. So we can add the fourth equation that states that AC equals to x. But if AC equals to x, then 2 times AC equals to 2 times x. So according to our definition, AP equals to x, okay, according to our definition, AP equals to x, that will be the fourth equation. If AP equals to x, 2 times AP equals to 2x. Now we will combine equation 3 and equation 4 together, and we will create the fifth equation. So the fifth equation states that 2 times AP equals to 105 units from the third equation. Okay? And from the fourth equation, we know that 2 times 6 equals to 2 times AP, so we can add in the fifth equation that also 2 times 6 equals to 2 times AP according to the fourth equation. So in total, we got that 2 times 6 equals to 105, that equals to 2 times AP. Or we actually got the equality that states that 2 times AP equals to 105 units. So we'll write it down. I repeat again. We got from the fifth equation, we got the equality that states that 2 times AP equals to 105. So I wrote it here. 2 times AP equals to 105 units. And that is actually the answer to our question. Because we actually wanted to find 2 times AP, and 2 times AP, the value of 2 times AP equals to 105 units, or the size of 2 times AP equals to 105 units. Okay, so now I will summarize the lecture. Actually, we wanted to find the value of 2 times AP, and we have the triangle ABC. Side AB of the triangle equals to 90 units, side AC equals to 70 units, and side CB of the triangle equals to 50 units. And we also have a circle. The center of this circle is point P, and the point P is situated on side AB of the triangle, and side AC of the triangle is tangent to the circle at point O, and the side CB of the triangle is tangent to the circle at point E. We connected points O and P together, and actually OP is the radius of the circle. We actually connected also points P and E together, and P is also the radius of the circle. And we have a rule that states in any circle a radius and a tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. So if R is the radius and T is the tangent, R is perpendicular to the tangent. That is to say, this angle is 90 degrees and this angle is also 90 degrees. Okay, so in any circle, a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. So we can implement rule number 1 in our circle, because we have a radius. PO is the radius of the circle, and AC is the tangent to that radius, and according to rule number 1, the radius is perpendicular to the tangent. That is to say, angle POA equals to 90 degrees, and also angle POC equals to 90 degrees. And in the same way, the radius PE and CB is tangent to the radius PE. For that reason, according to rule number 1, the radius PE is perpendicular to CB, that is the tangent to the radius. That is to say, angle PEB equals to 90 degrees, and also angle PEC equals to 90 degrees. Okay, so actually we have here two right triangles, the right triangle AOP and the right triangle EPB, and we also drew perpendicular to side AB of the triangle ABC, and the touching point between the perpendicular and the side AB of the triangle is capital M. So CM is perpendicular to AB. That is to say, angle CMA equals to 90 degrees, and also angle CMB equals to 90 degrees. And we also defined the angle CAB as alpha and angle CBA as beta. And we also defined AP as X. So PB will be equal to AB minus AP. AB is 90 units and AP is X. So PB will be equal to 90 minus 6. And actually, if we look at the right triangle AOP, sinus alpha in the right triangle AOP equals to OP over AP, and if we look at right triangle ACM, here sinus alpha equals to CM over AC. So in total we have that sinus alpha equals to OP over AP, that equals to CM over AC. I copied this equality and called it equation number 1 here, but we know that AP equals to X, OP equals to R, and AC equals to 70, so we can put this data on equation number 1, and we got that R over CM equals to X over 70. Then we focused on angle beta, and on the right triangle PEB. In the right triangle PEB, sinus beta equals to EP over PB. EP over PB. And in the right triangle CMB, sinus beta equals to CM over CB. So in total we have that we got that sinus beta equals to EP over PB, that equals to CM over CB. I copied this equality here and I called it equation number 1, equation number 2. EP over PB equals to CM over CB. This is equation number 2, but we know that EP equals to R, PB equals to 90 minus X, and CB equals to 50 units. So we can put this data on equation number 2, and after we put this data on equation number 2, we got that CM, R over CM equals to 90 minus 6 over 50. But we know that from equation number 1 that R over CM equals to X over 70. So then we created the third equation that states that R over CM equals to R over CM. And I substituted R over CM by the value of R over CM in the first equation, that is to say X over 70, and I substituted R over CM in this side of the equation by R over CM, the value of R over CM in the second equation, that is to say 90 minus 6 over 50. So in total we got that X over 70 equals to 90 minus 6 over 50, and at the end we got that 2 times X equals to 105 from one side, but from the other side we know that according to our definition AP equals to X. So this was the fourth equation that we created. So if AP equals to X, then 2 times AP equals to 2 times X. And we combined equation number 3 and equation number 4 together. And the value of 2 times X from equation 3 is 105. And the value of 2 times X from equation 4 is 2 times AP. So 2 times X equals to 105 from the third equation. It also equals to 2 times AP from the fourth equation. So in total we got the equality that 2 times X equals to 105 equals to 2 times AP. So we got the equality that 2 times AP equals to 105 units. And this is our final answer to the question, that actually the value of 2 times AP is 105 units, or the size of 2 times AP equals to 105 units. Okay, thank you very much.